Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Secret Wars Spider-Man, or Black Suit Spider-Man, as it was in the Secret Wars comic. And this is one I was very much looking forward to. I've always had a special place in my heart for Black Suit Spider-Man. So I was hoping it was going to be very good. I was expecting it would be very average. And I was hoping it wouldn't be very bad. And coincidentally, I've been told by some, or at least by one person, this is the best Spider-Man figure released. Well, it's not a new body, so I'm not going to go with that. It's going to be the same as that one, probably. But I've heard from other people that it's like the worst, and I don't think it's that either. So we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I will show you my package. It's a super detailed package, lots to talk about. I'm being sarcastic. It is just like the original packaging from forever ago. What was it, 1990? It was early 90s at least, I want to say. I want to say 1990, but I don't know for sure that these came out. I was a wee little lad, but I started collecting these things as a young kid, so I kind of remember these vaguely. Anyway, it's fine packaging. There's a drawing that doesn't really match the figure, or a lot of the comic art, frankly. But there you go, that's the package. Now, I will mention, some people in my Discord server were debating whether or not the pose that Hasbro... Stupid phone. The pose, I don't know if you guys even heard that. The pose that this guy was doing in the Hasbro photo is silly. And it is silly. And it was silly on the comic cover, but if you compare the two, this figure doesn't look like it's supposed to. The comic cover makes him way more muscular and tall, which we'll get to. So let's go ahead and measure him. He stands just shy of 16 centimeters. That's going to make him roughly, let's say just shy of 6 1/4. Here he is up against Darwin. Darwin could be in a normal pose once in a while, and I would appreciate it, but I don't pay him enough to really complain. So here we go. He is a little bit taller, a little bit. So this is the shortest version of Black Suit Spider-Man that Hasbro has released. I don't think that's a good thing. I do believe in the Secret Wars comics he is full-grown adult. He's not a kid anymore, and so he should be full-size, and he should be more muscular, and this body is not that. It's not the worst. It has one of the better silhouettes. Oh, we're talking about the aesthetic, by the way. We'll do a question in a minute. So it has one of the better silhouettes, and it's one of the more modern bodies, and it's fairly functional, but it's not very accurate to what it's supposed to be. This does feel and look a lot like a kid version, or a teenage version of Spider-Man, as opposed to the fully grown, more muscly version of him, as he's seen on the comic cover right there. But it's not bad. Now, the one thing I will say that I think is bad for this release is the way they did the eyes. These eyes don't match what I see when I think of Secret Wars Spider-Man. So that's the question of the day. What do you guys think? Do either of these eyes that come with this figure work for you for this version? They're fine, but they're not what I wanted. And I'll show you what I wanted. And that would have been a very good thing for this release. But as far as the aesthetics go, otherwise it's solid black plastic with the logo on it. How's the logo painted, you ask? Not very well. The legs don't line up properly, at least on mine. It's fuzzy at the top there. At least a little bit fuzzy. A lot of what you're seeing is light reflection, but it is somewhat fuzzy. But yeah, the legs don't line up. So the one thing they had to do, they kind of screwed up. Obviously the butterfly cuts it up back here, so can't fault them too much. And then down here, they actually did a pretty good job. For what it is. And then the eyes are clean enough. There's nothing wrong with them. So that's it. No shading or anything. So it's basically just a reissue in solid black with a new head or two. And I'm guessing, I don't know, was this head used before? This looks like it might have been on a different figure. I can't remember. Does it look like Scarlet Spider to you? Maybe. Anyway, it's fine, I would say. So whoever said it's the best Spider-Man release ever, you might enjoy it the most, and I'm happy for you. But it's just another run-of-the-mill Spider-Mans on a body that we've already seen. So it's going to get a 7. It's fine for a Black Suit Spider-Man, though incredibly unimpressive. Basically just an acceptable Black Suit Spider-Man if you didn't already have one and like the way this one looks. Now, as far as accessories go, you already mentioned the head, so you get the 2 different heads. Yeah, I see why these exist, but they aren't the one I wanted, so it's whatever. And the one I wanted is the one that's accurate to the source material, which is visible right here on the thing that they included with the figure. Why didn't we get those eyes? Those are the eyes I think of when I think of Secret Wars Black Suit Spider-Man. So that's a bummer. We'll come back to that. We get some hands. We get fist hands, thwip hands, and wall crawling hands. That's enough. No web accessories, but you do get this absolute waste of money in this shield thing that I cannot fathom why this is included in an adult collectible. I don't get it, other than strictly for nostalgia. I don't get it. You guys can let me know what you think. But for accessories, I will go 7 out of 10. It's fine. Alright, now for articulation, it shouldn't really stand out because we've seen this body before, but we'll do it again. He does look up. He does look down. It's the antiquated hinge, the disc hinge, as I call it. A little bit of ball peg motion, but not too much, so he's fine. Butterfly joint on this guy is unremarkable. It exists. It doesn't go back very far, even though it looks like it should, and it can't go forward very far, even though it should if they're going to put it in there. For the shoulder, you get your full rotation. Oh, wow, that is tight. That's as high as it's going to go easily. You might be able to really force it or heat it and get it to tuck in more, but the shoulder doesn't fit on the body properly, so it's very limited right out of the box. Yeah, you're going to have to heat that to get it to go any higher. So you can still see he has a very narrow chest. His shoulders aren't too small, and I wouldn't even say they're particularly low, maybe a little bit, but that narrow chest is not helping the look of the figure. And it's not really the breadth of the shoulders, it's the chest itself that's narrow that throws off the look, because he's got kind of a thick chest for Hasbro. So that looks weird. Anyway, bicep swivel is going to bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. If these don't work, Hasbro has totally jumped the shark, but they do. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge, it's all standard. Diaphragm joint on this body. Man, these shoulders are tight. Is not bad. I prefer a diaphragm joint to be included, so that's nice. It leans back a little bit, leans forward a little bit. They still don't do a good job. Side to side is decent. Twisting is okay, except he has that kung fu punch because his twist doesn't work, so be aware of that. Then you get the reversed ab crunch that is not on top of a swivel, so you just get a weird hinge in the middle of his groin area that is strange. Very, very strange. Don't know why they do that. Very weird joint. Semi-useful, but could be way more useful and more cost-effective to not do it that way. For the hips, they do kick nicely. That is good. Going back is just a little bit going out to the side. It's acceptable for a Marvel Legends, but for a Spider-Man it's quite limited. Just a little bit better than 45. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee works nicely. No problems there, of course. Boot swivel is ugly, but there if you want it. Then the ankles do go all the way back. Oh wow, these are very tight too. All the way forward, very nice ankles, and the ankle rocker is good. So his articulation is going to get, well, I was going to say 8 because he works pretty well, except for the shoulders, and honestly, even with this combination of joints, his torso is not very good. If they did another ball peg down here under the crunch, which should be higher, it'd be way better. Sticking this crunch so low, it really limits poseability more than it helps. I mean, it helps better than nothing, but not better than what it could be. So anyway, I'll stick with 7, and it's like I said in the beginning, it's not anything special. It's not the best Spider-Man figure ever. It is a Spider-Man figure ever. It is one of them that they have made. And so he will get an overall rating of 7. It is fine. If you don't have a black suit one and think this one looks good, pick it up. You're not going to hate it. You're not going to be thrilled unless you've never held an action figure before. Or if the last one you touched was Gumby. I don't know. But it's not anything impressive. It is just fine. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.